Hello, it's Courtney with balancewithcourtney.com. I am passionate about helping others discover their happy and inspire them to make it a daily habit. My intention is to hack happy by interviewing experts to share their story to inspire others and create a happy movement. Today's happy expert is Terri Best. Terri helps women design and grow thriving, profitable businesses that they love through the power of live videos. She's passionate about helping others embrace and share their authentic selves to attract their perfect clients and live a life they love. Welcome, Terri.
Thank you, Courtney. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yes. And before we get started, we're going to show off our happy shirts.
So yeah.
Terri's is showing bright. It's beautiful. I'm going to move my camera so you can see mine. But we are both sharing our happy today with all of you.
Yes, it was kind of perfect that we both happened to have the same shirt, Courtney. We were meant to connect.
I agree. So to get started today, Terri, would you share with others how you found your happy?
Yes, it has been a journey. It was not like a light switch. It has been a process. And I am 46, and I probably spent 30 years pretty unhappy. And it was really based on this upbringing I had of making other people happy, putting other people's happiness before my own. And, you know, at about 30, I started to just recognize how unhappy I was. I think before that, I thought it was just normal to feel the way I felt. And I really started exploring at about 30. And really, it was only about 8 years ago that I had a real sort of pivotal realization that, you know, my happiness is an inside job, that it needs to come from me, and I needed to stop looking outside for other people to do things that would make me happy, that I had full control. And it was really, I say it was pivotal because it completely changed the way I looked at myself and my role in the world. And I realized that I could keep making the decision to frame things in a way that made me feel happy and do things that make me feel happy. And actually that helps other people feel happier when you are genuinely happy. So I was sort of going about it all wrong. I was like sacrificing my own happiness to make other people happy, and it was making me unhappy. So a lot of different things happened to get me to that place. But the last, 8 or 9 years, really, I felt a huge transformation in my own levels of happiness because of it.
Yes. I think growing up, we tend to just see what other people are doing and we're like, oh, they seem happy, so I'm going to put on that happy hat like them. And then that's going to create happy. So it's almost like we think it's something we wear.
Yes.
If we put on our happy shirt, well, we're going to be happy today.
Exactly. If it were only that easy, we'd be selling these shirts left and right.
Well, do you remember Life is Good? I mean,
yes.
How huge that got? Because all of a sudden it gave everyone like an excuse that we could say, oh no, life is good. Life is great. I'm going to wear this. I'm going to have my mug. I'm going to have my hat. And then life is great.
What a great point. And I remember the allure of the brand of, life is good. I could buy this little, picture with a stick figure hiking and he's happy. And, I go for a hike a couple of times a year. So that could be me happy.
Yes.
And it doesn't quite work. It's not quite like putting a shirt on, is it?
No. And what a beautiful time. We're getting a little off track, but I just love what you brought up. What a beautiful time to say, okay, what about this shirt is making me want to buy it and feel good? And that's where the happiness is. It's the hike you go on. It's what you discover in the hike. It's not actually the shirt or what it says. Right?
That is such a good point. That is such a good point, Courtney. For the longest time, and I mean, this is even until probably the last few years, I really believed I'd be happy when, it was like when these things happened, again, it was external, but I didn't, even though I was really working on happiness as an inside job, I still kept sort of chasing it. Instead of living it, instead of choosing that today is going to be the best day of my life. I literally say that when I am still in bed with my eyes closed every single morning. I wake up, I say it is going to be the best day of my life. And if I'm exhausted and it doesn't feel that like it's going to be the best day, I say it again. Today is going to be the best day of my life. Today is going to be the best day of my life. And I keep saying it. Sometimes I even hear that song, the best day of my life. Terrible singing voice, but that's what's going on in my head.
I love it.
It just sort of wakes up my cells and it sets the tone for the day. And when I was trying to get in this habit, if I didn't do it, I really saw a difference in my day. And now it's automatic. I don't even think about it. And it's not about comparing today to yesterday or to the future. It is about believing today is the best day. And I'm so grateful to the mentor who taught me that, because it changed the tone of my days from the day I started doing it consistently.
It's like giving yourself an internal hug. By saying that out loud, it's like giving yourself some love. We give everyone else love. We want everyone else to start off on the right foot, right? I remember waking up my daughter every morning, and I would wake her up slowly and I would kiss her forehead. And it was this whole ritual because I wanted her to have a beautiful day. But we forget about us. We don't give ourselves those same rituals. And we're the most important thing of this whole equation.
Absolutely. And if we really do want to make other people happy, that is the best thing that we can do, right? It all starts with us. We just reflect what we're feeling inside on everyone else. So if we're judging ourselves as not good enough, we reflect that. We end up judging other people. And if we can wake ourselves up, I love that image of waking your daughter up in the morning so gently and so beautifully and with so much love, and transferring that to ourselves and waking ourselves up that day, and then being in a really good position to go out and spread that in the world, to spread that joy and happiness. That's amazing. I love that.
Yes, thank you. So will you define for us what happy means to you?
I think mostly for me, happy means content. Happy means peace. Happy means like not worrying about the future. It's being really present and trusting. I think the biggest shift I've had recently in terms of happiness is learning to trust that everything is always working out, even when things are going south, right? Things negative are happening. You get some bad feedback. Something doesn't work out the way you think it was going to. It's so easy to throw yourself into this place of like, oh my gosh, it's not paying off and the sky is falling and everything's going wrong. And just learning to kind of hear that inner voice of it's all going to be okay. Everything always works out, right? It's kind of sometimes clumsy in the process and there's some pain involved in the process. But when I can lean into trust, man, I feel really happy. I feel really content and just, I can just then move through the experience and not get stuck in it, not hang in it and swirl in it and stress about it, because that's not a happy place at all. So when I find myself kind of spiraling down that negative place, my word is trust. I always come back to trust yourself, trust you know the answers, trust you are taken care of, trust there is divine guidance, trust you're not in this alone. And all of that trust sort of lifts me back up to a pretty content and happy place usually.
Oh, I love that. Defining happy, trust. That is the first time I've heard that, and I absolutely love it.
I'm interested to hear what some of your other guests have to say about it, because it really is a personal definition, isn't it?
Oh, it definitely is. And I find that we all have something we say to get ourselves back on track and out of our head. And it's something that has a meaning just for us. So it's amazing to hear what each individual meaning is and then hear the story behind it.
Yeah. It's such a, it just takes a lot of self-discovery, doesn't it? To figure out what's going to work for you, because trust really works for me. And, someone that isn't so sure about, divine guidance, like trust might not really work for them. But I think the big lesson for me is that happiness is an ongoing job. Another thing I thought is that when I hit that point, right, I'll be happy then I would just be happy all the time.
Right.
I really had that naive belief that, I just want to feel good. I want to feel happy all the time. And once I recognize that is not the human experience, life is a roller coaster, and, we just want it to be more like this, like surfing the waves rather than like this.
Yes.
And we can control this with this, right? Yes, with the thoughts and like what we feel, listening to our heart, what we feel.
Right.
And it's just it's whatever works for you, whatever your word is, whatever your practice is. A lot of times I sit down and meditate. I know you've got your awesome meditations.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's reading a book. Sometimes it's just, I want to sit and look out at the sunset and just not think about anything. But we have to find that thing, because it's sometimes I have to revisit with my trust and happiness 11, 12, 20 times a day.
Oh,
right?
you bet. You bet. Thoughts create our flow. So whatever we're thinking about is what we're attracting.
Isn't it crazy?
So
powerful we are.
It is so powerful, so powerful. And if someone was to ask me, where do I start? What is one thing I start with? I say, check yourself. And what I mean by that is several times a day, close your eyes and check in with yourself and ask where you're at. What am I thinking? What do I need? Who am I and what am I doing right now? Right?
Yes.
Because we just live our day just going from the next thing, marking things off our to-do list, and we're never checking in to see how we're doing.
Absolutely. And I found that so much of my own pain and suffering has come from me living in the past or living in the future. And I don't suffer when I'm present, because even if, bad things are happening, if I can check in, if I'm having a really bad day right now, but I can check in this moment, like there's nothing bad happening in this moment.
Right.
Even if things have been swirling around me all day long. I mean, things might be happening, but they've happened in the past. I might be worrying about something, but I'm worrying about what might happen in the future, or what might not happen in the future. And so I love that number one step is check in with yourself and kind of recognize everything's okay right now. Sometimes I even sort of like have to touch my body just to remind myself I'm here. Mm-hmm. I'm not, my 7-year-old wounded self, or I'm not, the spinster with a lot of cats in the future, the thing that I fear, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm here right now, and it's all okay, and everything's working out, and then I go into trust. So you're right. It really does start with checking in with yourself.
So how do you maintain your happy and make it a daily habit?
So my morning routine is really big. So in addition to, just kind of saying this is going to be the best day of my life every morning, I also do gratitude every morning. And, I heard people talk about gratitude and meditation forever. And I just, and I finally committed to a gratitude journal a couple of years ago and meditating about a year ago. And what a huge difference. And I think the biggest realization for me is it didn't need to be like a big thing. My gratitude journal takes maybe 5 minutes, to just write some things I'm grateful for. I set my intention for the day. And then in the evening, I come back, and this has been a really important part of the process for me. I come back and I reflect on the best thing that happens today. And it always makes me end my day with a focus on what was good versus what I didn't get done, what I didn't do so well, what I stumbled through. And, it's sort of like I'm intentionally deciding to wake up and decide it's going to be the best day of my life. And at the end of the day, I'm validating it was a really, really great day. And here's why.
Yeah, you're waking up with gratitude, and you're going to bed celebrating yourself.
Absolutely.
For showing up and having it be a wonderful day. That's absolutely beautiful. And once again, we give that to everyone else around us, but we don't give that to us.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Absolutely.
That's beautiful. I love that. So you're starting your day and ending your day with gratitude and joy.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Love
and
it.
If I'm, if in the middle of the day, if I'm just having one of those days, one of those very, very human days where, I just keep kind of finding myself back in that stuck position, often what brings me out of it, and I wish I could claim that I initiate this, but it's not usually how it happens. But what often brings me out of it is helping someone else. And I think what it does is it takes the focus off of me. So if I get a message or an email or a call or a text from somebody and it's something that I can help them with, it's my nature, right? So I just kind of jump in even if I'm having a hard day. and it instantly lifts me up. And I think it just reminds me that I'm here for a purpose, that I have some value here, and kind of takes the focus off of the swirl of the thoughts of this is a bad day, this is a bad day, this is a bad day. Because like you said, the thoughts create the feelings, and then the feelings usually lead to the action or the inaction in the case of a bad day.
Right.
So yeah,
Yes.
helping someone else, I think, is a great way to get yourself back on track.
Oh yeah, yeah. I hear a lot how a lot of people are scared of the uncomfortable, but the uncomfortable is where all the magic is. And what I
Yes.
mean by that is, say we are in our thoughts, our negative thoughts, we're having a bad day. When we decide to change our thought and go help someone else, which is uncomfortable, right? Because we're not in a good space and we think we can't give anything to anyone when we're in that space. All of a sudden we are happy again and we're feeling great and we're out of those thoughts. So if
Yes.
we're constantly searching for the uncomfortable, that's when we're growing.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
And I've found if we don't if we don't judge the uncomfortable as this horrible thing that we need to get out of as quickly as possible, that's often when we move out of it, right? When I'm sitting in discomfort and I'm going, oh, I don't want to feel this. What could I do? I'm going to go eat. I'm going to go take a shower. I'm basically just going to try to stuff this feeling and make it go away.
Yeah.
It just stays, right? It's like I might push it off for a little while, but it comes back around. And if I'm just willing to say, okay, I'm pretty uncomfortable right now. I don't love this feeling, but I have things to do and I'm going to move through it. And I am going to, commit again to this being the best day of my life and just do the best I can with how I feel right now.
Mm-hmm.
Often it'll just sort of slowly lift. And sometimes it's like the shift is so subtle,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's like
Yes.
so quiet. And if you just sort of acknowledge, ooh, I think I might feel like 0.1% better, 0.001% better. It's like, oh, is that it? And if you just believe that, it's amazing that that idea gains momentum. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I actually feel better. Still not the actual best day of my life, but I feel pretty good compared to how I felt an hour ago.
Yep. And then celebrate.
Yes.
Celebrate that you made it through that.
Yes. Good point. That's a good thing to put in the journal at the end of the day.
Because so much we just move on to the next thing, and we don't celebrate ourselves for staying in it, feeling our feelings and finding joy. We just move on to the next thing.
Yes, you're right. It's very human of us, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So you gave me so many tools that you do when you're struggling and to find your happy again. Mm-hmm. Is there something else that you can help my tribe that when they're just kind of feeling out of alignment, what brings you back into balance?
When I'm feeling out of alignment, actually what I do mostly when I feel out of alignment is plug into a guided meditation. Mm-hmm. That's it. Because often I need an assist, like I need a lifeline and I just can't really get there myself. And so I just will plug into a meditation. I will lay down on the couch. I will make myself as comfortable as possible while doing it. And I'll just think about something else because I'm listening to the words of someone like yourself that's guiding me to a better place or to look at a situation differently. And I mean, so many times it's like an 8 or 10 minute meditation will really just shift your energy. And that helps me, get back to feeling like me, feeling like my purpose, pushing the fear away and getting clear and a little bit more aligned with myself.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, I love that. Giving yourself a break.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And when we do that, we could pick any meditation and it speaks to it. It says exactly what we need. Isn't that crazy?
It crazy? I mean,
I do the same thing, but I listen to podcasts.
Yes.
So I'll listen to my favorite podcasts and they're always talking about the topic that I'm struggling with. Isn't it single
magic? Time. Yeah. I mean, and I really do believe that asking for help is that there's some divinity involved in it. When you say, you know what, I just need a little clarity. I need a little guidance. I need a little help thinking about this differently. Just setting that intention that you need an assist sort of brings you exactly what you need, whether it's the text from a friend who needs some help and then you help her and you feel better, or you turn on a meditation or a podcast and that person is speaking exactly to you. I think it comes with sort of waving the surrender flag a little bit,
Yes,
like,
yes.
I'm just human and I need a little help.
Yeah. The magic is asking for help.
Yeah.
We don't have to do it all on our own.
Exactly.
It's impossible to do it all on our own.
It's true.
Thank you so much, Terri. You gave us so much wonderful, supportive inspiration and tools and tips to find our happy and make it a daily habit. Is there anything else you want to throw out for people listening today?
Yes, I want to say that, whatever it is you are doing, if you're building an online business, if you're raising a family, if you're, really focused on your career, you have a unique way of doing it. You have a unique gift that no one else in the world has. And that is something that I discounted for a very, very long time about myself, but believe really strongly now for each of us. And the more we can believe that and feed that thought, the more we learn to trust ourselves, and we can just be 100% real and authentic and don't have to, we don't have to pretend that things are better than they are, or that we're further along than we are, or whatever, all the pretending that we do. And because I think that pretending helped keep me from my happiness for a really long time, because my definition of myself was I was broken and I needed to be fixed, and I'd be happy when I was fixed.
Right.
And it's all a lie. We're not broken. We don't need to be fixed. We all have unique gifts inside of us. We all have things we're struggling with to uncover those, right? But we're in the process. And the more you can remind yourself that you have a unique gift and you are in the process of uncovering it, the more you'll trust yourself and just feed that thought, and it will grow. And I think that's been the biggest change in how I think about myself in these last 8-9 years.
Who we are is enough.
Yes, plenty.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
You are welcome.
Will you please tell our fans how they can find you and any promotions you have coming up or projects you have in the work? Just share.
Yeah. So you can find me easiest probably at terribest.com, and there you'll find all kinds of links to all my Facebook places. But I have a Facebook Live group, and what I really teach in there is, in addition to the sort of mechanics of live, is really this sort of owning who you are today, and that being plenty to grow a business. So if you're looking to grow a business and you're using Facebook Live, or you want to use Facebook Live more, come over, hang out in our group. We have an amazing group of supportive women in there who are all like finding their happy, really. They're all just growing and just getting more comfortable in their own skin. And to me, to be surrounded by people like that is so encouraging for me. They lift me up every single day. So I'd love for your listeners to come on over and hang out with us in Facebook land.
And I agree. I am in the group, and it is, number one, amazing to hear everyone coming out of their shell.
Yes.
And number two, personally, and I see others, when you use your voice for the first time, it's like you open up. It is, all of a sudden, you gain support from other people, and you just want to keep talking. It starts dropping in. It's like just being live for the first time releases a block.
It does. It absolutely
really does. And you have such a safe group to do that. And you are so supportive yourself and inspiring. I love this group. It's done so much for me. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Courtney, for being in it and for the kind words and for having me today and just giving me a chance to talk about such a fun subject with you and your listeners.
You're very welcome. So please hang on. I'd love to chat after.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for taking your time for us and for your growth. I hope you discover new happy habits to support your happiness. Please reach out with questions, or if you need more support, at Happy Balance Facebook group or balancewithcourtney.com. If you need one-on-one inspiration and support, please book a happy call. Thank you, Terri.
Thank you, Courtney. Thank you, everybody.